My name is Fridaus and I am the queen of semi-chickens. We are raising 250 broiler chickens and this is day 14. Well, we're having a steady growth on our farm. This growth is attributed to a few factors. Let's start with the breed of the chicken. My supplier told me that she gave me a very good breed. At first I didn't believe, but now this is day 14 and I believe we really had a good breed.
I think we got a good breed. Wow, because the way grow so fast is amazing.
We didn't have so many deformities. We're having a few leg issues, and from the start we didn't have so many mortalities except for that time when we got an infection on our farm. We got a simple outbreak which we were able to solve in time. But besides that, these birds have been growing, gaining weight so steadily. And as we all know, if you have a good breed, it means you have set yourself for success already. So the breed is really something which is giving us success on our farm. If there are few birds that had a few issues that I would attribute to the breed, we have actually created a nursery for them and they are over there. They've got leg issues and they can't feed that, they can't really compete. We have put a few that are also underweight and they can't compete with the other ones. They can't fight with the other ones when it comes to feeds. We've also got these ones. Now this is a rare case. These two. This one is having issues with the neck. It keeps rotating its neck. That means it can't eat properly. But this one is just growing thinner. Now this is what the vet doctor was talking about. You see this sac, this womb sac here. You can see this bird is too small, but look at its stomach. So that means it didn't get the proper care in the initial days. We were supposed to give them chick formula so that the womb sac closes so well. That means this bird actually is rotting inside. And the first case we had of these chicks dying, it burst. The intestines came out even before it could die. So those were all issues to do with the womb sac. And these ones, they have no chance of living. They are going to die. In any case, we're supposed to help them ease their pain because they're not eating, they're not drinking. But other than that, the birds are doing so well and I can say we had a really good breed. Now the other thing I would attribute our steady growth to is actually the type of feed we are giving our birds. We started with starter crumbs for 7 days and the birds really appreciated. They were able to convert the feed we were giving them into steady weight. That feed is really good. I would have mentioned it right here, but for purposes of not advertising for certain companies, I'm not going to mention. And now we went to mixing our own feeds. We are just mixing concentrate and also broken maize. I am still not going to mention the company which gave us this concentrate for also purposes of not advertising this particular company. However, their concentrate is also proving to be so. In fact, the day we introduced this mixed feed, the birds couldn't leave the feeding traps. One, maybe the feed was so nice, or two, maybe it's because the particles are the texture is not as the one of the starter crumbs. So could it be that the birds were eating and they were not feeling anything in their stomach? They didn't have that satisfaction, So I don't know, but the birds couldn't leave the feeding traps for some time. And then they are drinking a lot of water. That's also something we can attribute to the feed. When your birds are stuck to the drink and they're drinking all over and over again, it means the feed is doing its job. So that's something I would really say about our steady growth when it comes to the feeds. Now, when we are mixing our broken maize, we started with number one. I remember when I had just started raising broilers, my very first time to raise broilers, the number one mistake I made with broken maize is that I had no idea that when you start mixing, the broken maize has sizes. You have to start with number 1, number 2, number 3 until you finish. And just like the way it is with the feeds, you start with the starter, you go to grower, and then you go to finisher. I think the same applies to broken maize. And also my supplier actually advised me that you can continue with number 1 until your birds, you sell off your birds, that it's a good idea. However, when you go to the feed millers, they advise that actually it's best you start with number 1, number 2, and then like that. If you keep to number 1, the birds will eat a lot because they will not feel satisfied inside them. So the feeds, they're doing a good job on my farm in making sure that my birds are growing so steadily. But also something to do with the feeds, it helps to control certain diseases. If you're feeding your birds on a good feed, it means it has all the proper nutrients and vitamins that will help, that will, boost the immunity of these birds. For example, the starter crumbs we start with, they have their medicine, or they have, I may not go so deep into the compositions of these feeds because I'm not the nutritionist behind it, but I'm sure if you have a proper feed, some diseases won't attack you. It means your birds are getting all the nutrients they need to grow as the way they are supposed to grow. Speaking of which, when I was mixing, I added lucenyente, that is charcoal dust, in my feed. Do you know why? Because at that particular time, I didn't have any disease to fight against coccidiosis. If you're raising your birds in deep litter, there is a particular disease you can't do without, and that's coccidiosis. However careful you are, you're most likely to encounter this disease. It's so stubborn. So what I did, since I didn't have, the medicine for coccidiosis there and then, what I did was to actually include charcoal dust. As we all know, if you're a poultry farmer, you know how effective charcoal dust is in preventing coccidiosis on your farm. So I included it and I mixed it together with the feed. And when I look into my chicken house, their droppings are a bit solid. We all know broilers, when they are pooping, most of their droppings are watery. But this time, hey, slowly. This time around, their droppings are a bit solid. They're not so hard, but the consistency isn't so watery. And I'm attributing that to that charcoal dust that I included in my feed. So far, so good. We are not having any issues when it comes to the feeds. The chickens love every feed I'm giving them. And then when it comes to water, we are using underground water, and that should be good for our birds. I don't think we have any problems with the water because they are drinking it and they are having no issues with it. Now, the other factor we attribute to this steady growth of ours on our farm, it's actually the kind of vet we are choosing to use on our farm. The vet hasn't visited, but he's following up. He's asking me here and there what's really going on. And the first time we got an outbreak on our farm, he really came in through for us. At first, I actually doubted them because they are young boys, but according to what they are prescribed for us, I think it's really working for us. The first time we encountered a problem here, it had to do with these birds were not eating so well and drinking so well. They were sleeping a lot. I think they had got a bit lethargic, and we had a bit of mortality. So I went there and I explained to him that the first time I gave these birds medicine, it was actually glucovate, and after 2 days I hadn't given them anything else. I was just giving them plain water. And then he explained to me that by then they were too young, so they needed chick formula to help them close the womb sac so well. So all the birds that I lost between then and sometime later, maybe around 9 days, it was because I didn't care for them properly on the first days, day 1, day 2, I should have given them chick formula to help seal off the womb sac, as it causes a lot of issues for the chicks before they really gain their immune system. Some of them, I'll show them to you, they are over there, and it shows that they really had issues internally, you know. So this vet recommended chick formula, but afterwards he also, when these birds got flu and cough, which also mentioned that maybe it could have been an issue that they came with from the hatchery, he prescribed for me some good medicine, and he told me how I could use it. For the first time, I found someone who told me that you can use this tetracycline, oxytetracycline, together with a vitamin. He explained to me that it's like telling someone who is sick that you shouldn't, as you're taking your medicine, you shouldn't take juice, maybe passion juice. But most of the times doctors tell us to drink when we're on medication. So that's the same thing he explained. He told me you can add 1 spoon of vitamin and then 1 spoon of oxytetracycline. I was hesitant because most of the vets are against it, but I gave them anyway, and really there was a huge improvement, you know. And right now, when they stabilized, he also recommended for me a broiler booster. It's like a vitamin still, and he told me I shouldn't be giving them over and over again. And so having someone on your farm like a vet, it really gives you this kind of, you know, safety and security. And at times of panic, when you think things are not okay, he will actually tell you, don't worry, whatever I prescribed for you will work, just give it time. And that's what exactly happened to me, and the birds are now stable. Alhamdulillah, we thank God. But also one thing I would really, other than those, I think we are really putting in a lot of work. We as a team which is on the farm, we are rotating. Fazil is over there, I am here, we have other people on the farm. So we are rotating duty so that we are all, you know, in the best mental state to make sure this flock is doing so fine. We are here 24/7. At least there is always a person in here to make sure everything is the way as it is. The other observation I've made about these birds is the fact that there is a lot of uniformity. If you come in here, you realize that most of the birds are actually the same size and the same weight. You know why? Because we are making sure we're having enough drinkers and feeders. If not anything, maybe we're even having extra, you know. I started with the big drinkers. Most of you were against it. Someone even told me, oh, you made a mistake of starting with the big drinkers. At first, I almost believed it was a mistake because on the very first day, I remember I told you in one of my videos that in these big drinkers, I was putting stones so that the chicks don't fall in. But I think they came in when they were so thirsty. So most of them actually ended up stepping in that water. But it wasn't so bad. After a few hours, everything normalized and I started drinking from those big drinkers so nicely. And up to now, I think my birds are getting sufficient water without squeezing themselves. And that's really something. And guess what? It helped me save on the fact that by now I would be buying another size. That's something interesting to note. I also introduced big feeders. Now these ones I just introduced them recently. I started with medium feeders because these ones were too big for them, but now they can fit in. So for the feeders, I bought 2 types. In fact, I didn't buy 2 types. I had my old stock, you know. So from that old stock is what I introduced here. So the birds are having equal services, equal opportunity to the feed and equal opportunity to the water. That's basically what I would attribute to our steady growth on our farm. So we are having a situation in here. These guys here, they are bathing in the litter. And of course, as they bathe, they splash the dust into the water. Now they are doing this because it's hot outside. So they are trying to relax. In fact, we are advised to make sure that early in the morning when it's cool, the drinkers and the feeders are full, because right now you don't expect much activity when it comes to eating. They'll be working on cooling themselves down, and that's exactly what they're doing. Of course, it's an uncomfortable situation because we have to be making sure that we remove all the dirt which is falling in water. If we don't, then they're going to get sick with coccidiosis. So this is a challenge, but I know why they're doing it. They're cooling down. They're cooling off the heat, and that's something. I've never seen it in broilers. It's actually the first time, but it also proves that our chickens are healthy. If they have the energy to actually, So with that, I want to call you who is out there. We are having 250 birds. You can take these birds at once. Today we are day 14. How many days are we left to put these birds on market? They have grown so good, in a very better shape, and I believe they will be good for your business, of course. So if you want fatten, you can come and buy them on day 35, but book now so that we can consider you in our books. You can roast them or grill them for, so it's just a small number. Now is the time for you to come and book in with us at Semi Chickens. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.